just starts ringing, and I was like, uh-oh. Alexa?
People, a podcast dedicated to all things anime, from the perspectives of an advanced viewer, casual, and beginner. I am your host, Daniel.
I made a joke about furries before we started recording, and I guess it didn't go over well because they're still laughing about it. My name's Malcolm.
Hey, Siri, is Malcolm a furry? This is Jake.
I was waiting for an answer, yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah. She didn't actually. Oh, because hang on. I didn't use the right thing. I don't own an iPhone. Hey, Alexa.
Got him.
Is Malcolm a furry?
Oof.
Malcolm Gladwell is a furry.
He said no.
Oh.
He said no.
Sorry, Malcolm Gladwell. Sorry, furries, to get your hopes
Imagine
up,
how
I
creepy
guess.
it would be. Imagine how creepy it would be. It was like, hold on, let me check his browsing history.
I know, my phone just starts ringing, and I was like, uh-oh. Alexa?
Sure.
Before we get too derailed,
we respect the furry community. Nothing wrong against them. I just wanted to know.
you just do you.
Maybe I'll have an awakening. We'll see.
A revelation, if you will.
Yeah, we'll watch Beastars and see what
This
happens.
doesn't awaken something in me.
Damn it. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the history and origins of animation studio MAPPA, the Yaoi genre as a whole, and how those two both relate to our next show watch of Yuri On Ice. If you guys have any suggestions on what y'all would want to see or what for us to discuss or something like that, please feel free to DM us on any of our social medias. With that, we're going to start off with the first segment of the podcast, which is going to be the MAPPA Studios origin. So, Studio MAPPA, under the name MAPPA Company Limited, was founded on June 14th, 2011 by Masao Maruyama.
Oh, that was like 9 years ago. What the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
Recent. Very recent.
Yeah. So, he was also a founder and former producer of Studio Madhouse, another big anime studio. And MAPPA in and of itself is actually an acronym standing for Maruyama Animation Produce Project Association, which is actually ironic because now Maruyama resigned in 2016 and went to found another animation studio, Studio M2. So yeah, he's no longer with the studio, the company, but it's still like his name in the company. So have it at you.
Yeah. Well, without him there, it would have just been Appa, and
that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. They
Yeah.
just changed the logo.
oh, that would have been so good.
Nickelodeon lawyers would like to have a word with you.
Yeah. No, dude, they just use like the version of that Sokka drew.
It's gonna be a hellfire. I'm calling it now.
Currently, Studio MAPPA is located in Tokyo, Japan, and the current CEO is Manabu Otsuka. And the company right now employs around 200 employees. So decently big company, decently big studio with all things considered. MAPPA's like first anime that they were involved with, that they produced, was Kids on the Slope, which is like a slice of life romance anime by Shinichiro Watanabe. And then later on, other major works that they've been involved with are including but not limited to Zombieland Saga, which by the way, season 2, can't wait for it. And I'm waiting. Yeah, there it is. I was waiting for that.
Got him.
God of High School, Terran Resonance, Yuri on Ice, and the upcoming Attack on Titan final season. So MAPPA, yeah.
When is that coming out?
Hang on.
It was supposed to come out.
They did not direct or animate the previous seasons of Attack on Titan.
Correct. That was WIT Studio.
Interesting.
Yes. So WIT Studio animated basically all the seasons for Attack on Titan. They also did Vinland Saga. But yeah, for the final season, it went over to MAPPA instead. So, and in the trailers for the final season of Attack on Titan, you could actually see the animation differences, like the style differences between the two, between season 3 and then now season 4, the final season. But yes, so MAPPA has like all those anime that I mentioned. They also have other anime they've done that's also big. Just there's a lot. So they already have quite the resume, and definitely their animation in these shows is phenomenal. It's really well done. So yeah, that's MAPPA. They're the ones that are going to be animating, or that did animate, Yuri on Ice. So when talking about Yuri on Ice, now moving on to the next portion of our episode, Yuri on Ice as a genre is a sports anime, of course, but like the more talked about portion is the yaoi genre. And for those of y'all that have been with us, Weeb the People community, since the very beginning, the last time we talked about yaoi was in episode 16. That was like 2 years ago, basically. For us.
It was a long time.
It was a very long time ago.
76 episodes. That's a year and a half, maybe. Nope, a year and a quarter.
But then even more, just because
before times.
Who knows if we were? I don't know. It's been a long time. And at the time, I mean, we were still a young podcast, still like just briefly talking about stuff.
Couldn't buy cigarettes, no alcohol.
We really couldn't do anything.
Super young.
But now we're stronger, better, faster, and everything.
Lung disease, non-stop smoking.
Yeah, chain smoking now.
Chain smoking. Chain
vaping. We are with the times.
Yep. And actually, I signed a anti-smoking affidavit for my company.
You should have told me that before I got us a deal with Camel.
Yikes!
You know, Joe Campbell's bringing that money.
This episode brought to you by.
This episode brought to you by Kid Smokes.
Oh, no.
Redeem your Marlboro bucks for an exclusive bonus episode from Weeb the People.
No, click on the link.
Exclusive Joe Campbell Fortnite skins.
Holy crap! But yes. So it's been a while, and for those of you that did listen to that episode 16, we super surface level mentioned it, talking about
I like my cigarettes unfiltered. Go ahead.
So we briefly mentioned it, super surface level. So now we're going to do a more deep dive into it. And even then, I didn't cover everything that there was to cover about this, because there's actually quite a lot that goes into this. A lot about the origin, and I learned a lot about it. So hopefully I can share that with you guys. But so starting off, yaoi, aka boys love, aka BL. The genre is generally about homoerotic relationships between males. That is more targeted towards a female audience. There's actually a different genre. There's actually a different genre that's targeted towards gay men. That's called bara, but both are interlaced, as I was mentioning, between slice of life, sports, adventure, action, what have you.
I have heard of this, where there's like, it's a marketed audience of gay relationships for women to watch.
Yes.
That aren't, I mean, you know, we'd say things, but there's a non-negligible portion of our adult entertainment industry that films certain things that would be for a male audience, but definitely don't involve men.
Yeah, and knowing the anime community, it seems a little weird to have men infer what women want about gay men. What straight men think women want from gay
this
men.
Is what the ladies like about gay men.
They're connecting the web, connecting the dots.
I got the Pepe Sylvia board like on my wall.
I want to be in that marketing room so bad, just to be like, guys, my wife mentioned cucumbers. You think we want to make them put it up their butts?
Is this
Mark? Can I get some feedback, Mark?
Yeah,
Jesus.
And I think that, you know, we as three straight men are qualified to talk about this,
right?
And that's where I feel comfortable, you know, talking.
Damn it. So where was I? Let's see.
Cucumbers,
like I said,
buttholes.
Cucumbers, right? Like I said, there's actually another genre called bara that's more targeted towards gay men. But moving on from that, let's see what I've got. So the earliest origins of the usage of the term yaoi can be dated back to the late 1970s and early 1980s in old doujinshi. I always hate this word. Doujinshi circles. Basically, doujinshi. Yeah, that's basically like markets where amateur manga writers or amateur fan fiction writers go and like they create their stuff and then they like sell it out to people, and people can go and like to these markets and like buy stuff.
Oh, cool!
Just like in Gate, that anime we watched.
Yes, exactly. So he goes to a doujinshi like festival or whatever, and it's like a really popular thing in Japan. So
would this be like the equivalent of like I've seen in like not anime conventions specifically, but Comic-Con, they had some like kind of not, I wouldn't call them low budget, but just like indie comics and like artists that would be at the booth and like they had like drawn all the panels.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the same effect.
Okay. That's cool.
So, right. So this is where the, and professionals, like actual, like people who are in the business, they do actually participate in these doujinshi markets and conventions and stuff, but they make content that's like outside of their regular, maybe they're just like testing something out and they just want to see how it does, or without having to go through all the business regulated stuff. This
like
is where they
real
go.
Life Etsy.
Basically.
If Etsy had a store.
In-person Etsy, right? Anyway, so from these doujinshi markets and conventions and stuff, the term yaoi is derived from two different sources, meaning like words from Japanese words. Tanbi, which is platonic relations between young boys. So I guess that's just like friendships and stuff. And shonin ai, which literally translates to boys love. So this is where we get the two sources derived from. Now, time to blast your all's mind. There's actually legit research done on this topic. A research paper,
the world's top minds putting all their effort into fucking anime, people.
Fuck yeah, bro. A research paper published by the University Press of Mississippi in 2015 by McClellan, Nagaiki, Suganuma, and Welker, titled "Boys Love Manga and Beyond: History, Culture, and Community in Japan." It states that yaoi is derived from the Japanese term yamanashi, ochinashi, iminashi, meaning no climax, no point, no meaning.
Yeah, that's some life, baby. Yeah.
Which was used as a self-deprecating way to refer to these amateur doujinshi works and the way that they made the relationships between the male characters.
That's sad.
So you grab each one. Yeah. Ya, o, I. Yaoi. So yama, ochi, imi.
So when they talk about the self-deprecating, was it like an in joke with like these artists that were like making it and going like, oh, like we make fun of ourselves, but like we're getting positive like reflections of the community like that? Or
so they were used, yes, in a self-deprecating way, like you mentioned before, and others kind of in a way just to like, I don't know what the term is, mock them or like kind of berate them.
Is this like a reclaiming thing?
Yeah, like if I called myself Mayonnaise Boy, like that's me saying that.
Yeah.
All good.
But if
is it?
Yeah. But then, like, yeah,
Malcolm said it.
I would get a lot of likes on Twitter.
You would.
Twitter is a nasty, evil place. Prison of our own
dilemma. It really is. Yeah.
It encourages us to be the snarkiest of ourselves.
The worst of ourselves.
But yeah, so it was using those both ways, like you mentioned. So the artist did them to themselves, and then other people did it to like call them out on it, kind of, because it was like a very new, like upcoming thing. You got to remember, so yaoi is targeted towards female audiences, so a lot of these writers would actually be female. Not all of them, right?
Oh, thank God. Okay, so my earlier thing about straight men pretending to be women to pretend to like gay relationships doesn't necessarily apply.
Right.
Thank God there's hope in the world. Fuck.
There's some works like that, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I really like the one that was written by Aaron Sorkin. I thought the voices just really felt authentic. I broke Malcolm.
Yeah, for y'all who are listening to this audibly, I cannot believe those words came out of Jake's mouth. My mouth was agape. I didn't know what to do. Agape.
Agape got killed.
I'm sorry.
We should make a fucking.
If you wrote an anime, I would be so happy. I'd be so happy if you wrote the teleplay.
A smoothie stand for Weeb the People. Agave got killed. Our top seller.
Okay.
Top seller.
I'm a down.
You get a complimentary side of avocado toast on the side.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some URLs real quick.
Moving on. Not to get too wild in the podcast, right? But in yaoi, there's terms used to describe the roles, if you will, of the two male characters in a relationship. Basically, the top and bottom, if you will.
Power bottoms for life.
Power bottom, power top, you know. With the Japanese terms being seme, which is top, and uke, which is bottom, with both being derived originally from martial arts. Seme being derived from the verb to attack, and uke from the verb to receive. So,
yo, that's fucking metal.
Yeah, bro.
I love that, dude. Whoa!
They're like charging in.
Yo.
Got their anime run. Samurai sword. They're ready. Yeah, Naruto running.
Oh my god! But yeah. So that's basically an abbreviated version of how Yaoi got into the scene, how it originated, where it originated from. Like I said, there's still like a lot that I didn't really talk about, kind of like the origins of Shonen Ai, the origins of like Tanbi and how those came about to be. But if not, I would just be doing a constant tree of things, and we would like go back to the root of all origins. And no. So
just want to thank you for closing out with the top bottom to attack to receive thing. That's fucking awesome.
You have to write a good conclusion in your stories, so that's what I did.
To the Japanese people, thank you for enlightening my life just a little bit more today.
Any questions before we move on from this topic of yaoi?
Do people say seme unhomoerotically in Japan? Or is there another way to say to attack? Okay, I don't know why I'm asking you an American about this.
I was like, dude, I don't know.
I regret everything.
Yeah, Daniel, what are the nuances of this?
Yeah, what are how did the etymologies appear? Can you actually write out the kanji for them? Fuck no. But yeah, no.
One thing I was curious about, you said that there is. Wait, okay.
What's your thoughts?
There's yaoi, which is boys' love.
Correct.
For women.
Typically written for a woman's audience.
Mm-hmm.
There is yuri, which is girls' love.
Right.
Which is homosexual relationships between women, also written for women or for general audience.
That one's for. I didn't do the deep dive on. I'm not going to do the deep dive on this one. I'm wanting to say, and I wrote that later on. We're going to speak about that later on. But I'm just going to briefly talk about Yuri. Okay. You're on the right track, though. Exactly the same kind of train of thought. But I wanted to save Yuri for when we ever do a Yuri anime on the podcast. But perfect segue. For those of you that don't know what Yuri is, Jake explained it perfectly. It's basically homosexual relationship, homoerotic relationships between females. Literally the same thing as yaoi, just flip the genders. Let's see. Yeah, we're not going to do the deep dive yet. But another thing that people are always curious about is after explaining all this, yaoi, Yuri, the difference between that, you look at the show name and you're like, okay, well, if it's yaoi,
Yuri,
why is it called Yuri on Ice?
Yuri on Ice.
And that's simply because one of the main characters' names is Yuri. So it's just referring to the
big
character.
brain move.
Oh, see, this is
gets both audiences. They're like, oh, I heard this is a yaoi thing, but it says Yuri.
It'd be like the American equivalent if it said lesbian on ice, but the lesbian is just a man named lesbian. I love it.
Yeah, that's basically it. So
you're welcome.
It's like if they did Shrek the musical, but it was really just music notes on a piece of paper titled Shrek. And there were no ogres, no donkeys, no onions.
Oh my gosh.
But yes, so perfect segue into that now. Talking about Yuri on Ice. Yuri on Ice, as mentioned before, was animated by Studio MAPPA, directed by Sayo Yamamoto and Jun Shishido. The story follows protagonist 23-year-old skater Yuri Katsuki right after his defeat at the Grand Prix final and other competitions that he was at. So having conflicting feelings about his future as an ice skater, he decides to take a sabbatical, if you will. He returns home and with a friend, he perfectly replicates one of the advanced routines of like this top world Russian figure skater champion named Victor Nikiforov.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
We made that joke when we did the LGBTQ episode. It's just too good to pass up.
It really is, dude. It's too easy.
Right there.
Here's the tree. Here's that low-hanging fruit. And Malcolm just like, nice.
Yoink. Yoink. And basically, he was secretly being filmed, and it got uploaded and went super viral, whatever. Yeah.
Wrong? And don't do that, people.
Yeah, and then Victor actually sees this routine, and he's like, yo, that was actually really good.
You come to my house and you do that shit in front of me? Come here.
Come on, I want to talk to you. So he offers to coach Yuri, with later on romantic feelings being developed between the two of them over the course of the anime. So yeah, that's that in a nutshell. That's Yaoi, Yuri on Ice, and Studio MAPPA, all about Yuri on Ice, which we're going to be reviewing next week on the podcast. We'll be review. It's just 13 episodes or 12 episodes, something like that. So we'll just do one episode covering the entire show.
And where can people watch Yuri on Ice?
A Crunchyroll. And that's
Crunchyroll.
On a Crunchyroll. But yes.
Hey, if you're a federal officer, don't listen to this next part, but rest in peace, Kiss Anime. You can start listening again. Open up your ears. It's
Yeah, honestly, rest in peace, Kiss Anime. It paved the way for a lot of things, did a lot of shitty things too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. We wanted to pay respects to the LGBTQ plus community because, like Malcolm mentioned before, we did an episode about it. We mentioned LGBTQ plus in the anime community and like different shows regarding that topic. So we really wanted to watch a show regarding that topic. So, and we decided on Yuri on Ice since none of the three of us have seen the show.
I thought you said you did.
No, I've never seen it.
You lying man.
Got him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get clean. By episode 100, I will be curse-free. This will be a clean podcast for our professional listeners. Mm-hmm. But it's not episode 100 yet, so I'm going to say the word shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, so we decided on Yuri on Ice to watch for that. But if you guys have any like further thoughts, comments, opinions, because just like Jake said, we are three straight men.
Three white dudes. Well, three.
Oh, what?
I was about to say, what the hell?
Surprise! We're looking for 2 other members of our podcast.
The privilege is coming. Hey guys, I'm gonna cut in line now. Don't have a fast pass.
I'm gonna send you that Garth Brooks CD. Don't worry.
I've already got a whole collection of Bob Dylan over there, dude. I gotta make space.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
What a fucked up country we live in. Anyway.
Holy moly.
Yeah, like Daniel was trying to say before I completely fucked up my joke. Yeah, we're not going to get everything right. We're not going to get everything 100%. So I would welcome criticism, what you guys have. Just be respectful. That's all.
Constructive criticism is the way to go.
You don't know what you don't know until someone points it out. So
yeah. So we all appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from one another, and especially with a topic and subject that we all know and love, anime. So yeah, feel free to DM us on any of the social medias or email us at our email address. So with that, before we wrap this,
just to clarify, Yuri on Ice that's a slice of life, correct?
It is
sports anime.
A sports anime. Sports anime.
Okay.
Yaoi, kind of slice of life.
Okay.
It's like the journey, kind of.
The focus is figure skating.
I think I'm going to like it because it seems like a down-to-earth story, and there's not death weapons
Have you seen a pair of ice skates, though?
They are kind of like...
They are pretty deadly.
One kill. You're out.
That's a blade. Yeah. You're right. Now,
Akame on Ice.
Say.
Akame on Ice. Yo. Agape on Ice. Akame on Ice.
Shaved ice.
Shaved. TM. I'm gonna fucking mail this podcast to myself. Get that postmarked, and no one else can steal that.
.LTD on that. But with that, we'd like to thank Joakim Guru for the use of his music in our podcast. The intro is Dreams, and the outro is Lowrider. Links to his contact info will be in our show notes. If you enjoyed listening to us, please make sure to rate us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play. If you want to watch us in video format, check us out on our YouTube channel, Weeb the People Podcast. Rate us on positively on all those other sites. Check out our website, weebthepeople.com. Make sure to follow our Twitter handle at weeb_the_people, Facebook page, Weeb the People, and Anime Podcast. And finally, our Instagram, Weeb the People Podcast. And if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to message us, DM us on any of the social medias, or email us at weebthepeoplepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm your host, Daniel.
Seriously, furries, I seriously have nothing wrong with you. Do not come after me. Maybe I'll join you one day, but I'm just saying right now, not my thing. We'll have a talk someday. My name's Malcolm.
Hashtag
Secret
furries
furry.
against Malcolm.
Not my kink. I will make it my life's goal to have our next Yuri show watch be Legend of Korra. My name is Jake.
Fair?
Yes. Okay.
Well-
okay. Spoilers, but this is
I didn't say
Jake.
who. I didn't say what. I just said
Well, you said Korra in the show's called The Legend of Korra.
of Korra. It's the show. That would be that. Okay. All right.
This
We're
has been
gonna
Weeb the
sign
People, and have a great evening.